Doubt is a peculiar thing. It has the power to stop you dead in your tracks, or it can ignite a fire in you that refuses to be extinguished. Doubt comes in many forms. Sometimes it's the voices of others telling you what you can't do, listing all the reasons why you're not enough, or pointing out all the odds stacked against you. But let's not overlook the most dangerous kind of doubt, the doubt that creeps in from within, the whisper in your own mind that questions if you're truly capable, worthy, or strong enough to rise above the challenges in front of you. Here's the truth: doubt is inevitable. You will face it on your journey. You will encounter people who, intentionally or not, project their own fears and limitations onto you. They will look at your dreams and measure them against their own insecurities, labeling your vision as impossible. That's not your problem to fix. It's your opportunity to seize. Doubt doesn't have to be your enemy. In fact, it can be your greatest ally if you know how to handle it. Let me explain: when someone tells you that you're not good enough, what they're really doing is handing you a choice. You can take their words and wear them like a chain around your neck, allowing their opinions to weigh you down and hold you back. Or you can take those same words and use them as fuel, a relentless, unyielding source of energy that propels you forward. Think about it. Every no you've ever heard has the potential to become a stepping stone. Every time someone said you couldn't do something, they gave you an opportunity to prove just how wrong they were. But here's the catch: that energy doesn't activate on its own. You have to make the choice to flip the script. Instead of letting doubt diminish your confidence, you have to let it stoke the fire within you. And let's talk about the pain of doubt for a moment. Yes, it hurts. When someone doubts you, it can feel like a personal attack, like they're questioning not just your abilities, but your very worth. But pain, when used correctly, can be powerful. Pain sharpens you. Pain teaches you. Pain teaches you. Pain pushes you to dig deeper than you thought possible. When doubt causes pain, let that pain drive you to action. Let it be the reason you stay up late, rise early, and work harder than you ever have before. Understand, this doubt is not the end of your story. It's the middle. It's the moment when the hero is tested, when the weight feels unbearable, and when the world is waiting to see if you'll break. That's the moment when you take the doubt, you hold it in your hands, and you say, "Thank you. Thank you for giving me the fuel I needed to keep going." Because when you transform doubt into fuel, you become unstoppable. You're no longer running on fleeting motivation or external validation. You're running on something deeper, something unshakable, a determination that says, "I will not quit. I will not be defined by what others think. I will turn every ounce of doubt into a brick and use it to build the foundation of my success." Doubt is like a match. It can burn you if you hold on to it the wrong way, or it can light a fire that propels you towards your destiny. The choice is yours. How will you use it? Faith in the unseen is the foundation of every great achievement. Before a tree can rise from the earth, its roots must take hold deep in the soil where no one can see them. In the same way, every breakthrough, every triumph, every dream that becomes reality begins in a place hidden from the world. But here's the challenge: having faith in what no one else can see requires a strength of spirit that many are unwilling to cultivate. The unseen is an intimidating place. It's a place of uncertainty where the road ahead is foggy and the outcome feels distant. The unseen is where self-doubt thrives, whispering that you're wasting your time or chasing something impossible. But let me tell you something about faith. Faith isn't about what's visible. It's about what's possible. Faith means believing in the potential of a seed before the first sprout breaks through the ground. It means knowing that just because others can't see your vision doesn't mean it isn't real. People may not understand your journey because they weren't given the blueprint to your destiny. They weren't there when the vision was planted in your heart. They didn't hear the call, didn't feel the fire burning inside you. So stop looking for validation from those who can only see what's already been built. Your faith is the fuel that moves you forward, even when no one else believes you're going anywhere. But here's the hard truth about faith that requires action. Faith is not passive. Faith doesn't sit in the corner waiting for miracles to fall from the sky. Faith steps out when there's no guarantee of success. Faith takes the first step when the bridge hasn't been built yet. Faith says, I may not see the full picture, but I trust the process is the kind of faith that keeps you working in silence, preparing in the dark, and building without applause. Faith in the unseen also means being willing to endure seasons of invisibility. There will be times when you feel like all your effort is going unnoticed, when it feels like you're pouring everything you have into something that isn't yielding results. But remember, the unseen is where the greatest growth happens. It's where your character is forged, where your perseverance is tested, and where the foundation for your future is laid. Think about the most powerful forces in life. They often operate in the unseen. You can't see the wind, but you can feel its impact. You can't see gravity, but its pull is undeniable. Faith works the same way. It moves you, sustains you, and guides you, even when there's no visible evidence that your efforts will pay off. Faith in the unseen also means letting go of control. You won't always know how things will unfold, and you won't always have all the answers. Faith says, even though I don't know how, I trust that it will happen. It's the willingness to step into the unknown, not because you're certain of the outcome, but because you're certain of the promise. And here's the beauty of it, the unseen doesn't stay unseen forever. What begins in faith eventually manifests into reality. The work you do in private becomes the success that everyone sees. The dream that seemed impossible becomes the story that inspires others to believe in their own possibilities. But none of that can happen if you don't first embrace the unseen and trust the process. Faith is a choice. It's a decision to see beyond the present moment, to believe in what's possible even when no one else can. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about trusting in a greater reality that hasn't yet been revealed. It's about holding onto your vision when everyone else lets go, standing firm when others waver, and moving forward when the path is unclear. Victory in silence is a concept that challenges the way many of us think about success. We live in a world where everyone is eager to showcase their accomplishments, to broadcast their moves, and to share their progress at every turn. But true victory, the kind that is lasting, undeniable, and transformative, does not need a spotlight to be real. It doesn't require applause to hold its power. It grows in the quiet places where no one else is watching. Silence is not weakness. In fact, silence is strength in its purest form. It takes discipline to work towards something without the validation of others. It takes courage to keep striving when there's no one around to cheer you on or acknowledge your efforts. Silence is where you learn to stand on your own, to draw from an inner well of determination that cannot be shaken by the opinions of the crowd. There's a certain power in withholding your moves from the world. When you operate in silence, you strip away distractions. You remove the noise of outside judgment, both positive and negative. It's in this quiet space that you can focus entirely on the task at hand, giving your energy fully to the process without the pressure of external expectations. Silence allows you to stay grounded, to remember why you started in the first place, and to ensure that your motives remain pure. But victory in silence is also about humility. It's about understanding that success isn't about proving a point or seeking approval. It's about fulfilling your purpose, regardless of whether anyone else acknowledges it. When you're truly committed to your journey, you don't need the world's permission to move forward. You don't need a round of applause to validate your efforts. You know that the work you're putting in will speak for itself when the time comes. Think about the most transformative moments in your life. Chances are they didn't happen in front of a crowd. They happened in solitude, in the hours when you were alone with your thoughts, your fears, and your dreams. Victory in silence honors those moments. It respects the process of becoming, the slow and steady growth that happens out of sight, but ultimately shapes everything that's seen. And let's be clear, silence does not mean inaction. It doesn't mean staying still or keeping quiet out of fear. Silence in this context is purposeful. It's a deliberate choice to prioritize progress over performance, to value substance over show. While others may be busy talking about what they're going to do, you're out there doing it. While they're chasing attention, you're building something real. There's another aspect of victory in silence, and it's the element of surprise. When you choose to keep your moves private, you give yourself the freedom to evolve without interference. You're not bound by the expectations of others or limited by their understanding of what's possible. And when your victory finally comes to light, it speaks volumes without you having to say a word. The results are undeniable, and they tell a story far more powerful than anything you could have announced along the way. Victory in silence also protects your peace. It shields you from the criticism that often accompanies visibility. Not everyone will understand your journey, and not everyone needs to. When you keep your progress to yourself, you create a safe space where you can grow without the weight of unnecessary opinions. This doesn't mean isolating yourself completely. It means being intentional about who you share your journey with and when. Perhaps the greatest lesson in silent victory is the understanding that success is a process, not a performance. The real work happens in the trenches, in the moments when no one is looking, and in the decisions you make when there's no audience to impress. Silence gives you the freedom to focus on what truly matters, to hone your craft, and to build something that can withstand the test of time. True victory doesn't need to shout to be heard. It doesn't need a stage or a microphone. It speaks through the outcomes you achieve, the lives you touch, and the impact you leave behind. It's a quiet, unshakable confidence that says, I don't need to tell you what I'm doing, you'll see it when it's done. Victory in silence is not just about what you achieve, it's about how you achieve it. It's about cultivating strength in the quiet moments where the real work is done. It's about trusting the process even when no one else can see the progress. When you choose to move in silence, you free yourself from the need for validation, from the noise of opinions, and from the pressure to perform for the world. When your time comes, and it will, your victory will speak louder than any words ever could. The seeds you planted in secret will bear fruit in public. The quiet work you've done in solitude will shine in the light of day, not because you shouted about it, but because it was undeniable. So let the world wonder. Let them question, let them doubt. Keep moving, keep building, keep thriving, because the greatest victories are often born in silence, but their impact echoes for a lifetime. G.